Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Jessie, and welcome back to another episode of Rewire To Inspire. This show where we'll dive into self-love, learn tangible ways to rewire the brain, and discovering your soul's purpose. The goal of Rewire To Inspire is to encourage listeners to begin doing the hard work, to get curious and open to maximizing your life. Our mindset shapes how we live. Depending on life events, traumas, and personal experiences, our mindsets are all vastly different. However, one thing we all have in common is the ability to rewire our mind, to change the narrative, and to pivot our lives. I hope you leave each episode with the belief that you are so worthy to live a life true to you. I look forward to chatting with you every single Tuesday and Thursday and helping you grow exponentially in all areas of your life. Without further ado, here's today's episode. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to my podcast, Rewire To Inspire. I am your host, Jessie Brown, and I am authentically showing up to the microphone today. If you are watching video, you might be able to tell it has been an emotional day for me. And so I spent the morning resting, processing, reflecting, taking time for myself. And I never thought this morning in any way that I would be jumping on the microphone this afternoon. The reason I felt so pulled to jump on the microphone is because as somebody who has studied mental health, who has a pretty good understanding of mental health, of mental illness, of depression, of anxiety, of overwhelm, of burnout, as somebody who will work herself to the point of breakdown, I knew I needed to be transparent, I needed to be open, I needed to be vulnerable and honest, and come on here and chat with you all. And I want to just have a conversation today, just you and me. Today's podcast episode is going to be a little bit different than usual because I want to pull from my heart. There are so many things out there that are do this, say that, do it this way, go all in, 100%, give it your all. And in a lot of ways, that is my personality. I strive and embody the identity of being a peak performer, of being an entrepreneur on a journey that is going to take all of those things that I just mentioned. There is no days off in my vocabulary. Rest is a very toxic word to my mind, because to my mind, I associate that to how is this affecting me down the line in my future? But I recognize that I'm being a hypocrite in the way that I'm not practicing what I'm preaching. And so my goal of today is for you guys to maybe just take a second and assess for yourself. Assess where you're at, assess how you're feeling, assess if your system is actually going to set you up to be successful. Because although, yes, I cannot take a day off. That is just not who I am. That is not who I will ever be. If that is you, that is wonderful. That does not resonate with me. However, is the system and your process and your habits and your days set up right now to actually accurately get you where you want to go? I have a whiteboard beside me that I have spent the last hour working on, breaking down my goals from June to August. There are 93 days between now and when I want to accomplish these goals. I have my most important tasks for today. I have my bigger, most important tasks of things that might take a little bit longer, but I know that they need to get done. And I have my daily non-negotiables. And I felt really, really good writing those down. And then I sat down and I started crying again. And I'm like, okay, Jessie, what is going on? What is coming up? What is happening right now that is making you so dang emotional? And I realized that in hindsight, all of those things are fantastic, but not if I am not well. All of your goals are fantastic, but not if you are not well. Nothing in this world is worth your time, your effort, your energy, your money, if you are left feeling depleted, burnt out, overwhelmed, and at your wit's end. I want my podcast to be a safe place for listeners to tune in, to get inspired, to take action, to rewire blocks that we might have so that we can heal and become the next best version of ourselves. But I recognize that all of those things are great, but they're great until they're not. They're great until we hit a wall. They're great until we're overwhelmed. They're great until we're not ourselves and we're left wondering why we feel like crap. It is so ridiculously difficult, from my perspective, to know what it's like to be able to truly turn your brain off and enjoy life. I don't know how many of you will be able to resonate with that feeling, but even if just one of you do, from my perspective, it's mission accomplished. I know things that I say will never land for everybody, and that's okay. That's why there are thousands and thousands of podcasts. However, I do think in those of you that I have connected with, you beautiful souls that have connected with me and vice versa, so many of you guys also struggle with this. You struggle with detaching yourself from your work and from your passions. And I can't help but think that so much of that is that hyper control that comes from trauma in the past. If I do not make this perfect, I will be a failure. If I do not follow through with this, what will people think? If I am not accurate, will people judge me? It causes this very toxic cycle of not associating yourself anymore, almost as needing emotions. It's almost like when you're on a growth journey, and this is assuming prior to establishing things that I have yet to be as healthy as possible you also likely struggle with being able to detach yourself from what it is that you're doing. Meaning that the work that you output, how that is affecting people, also directly impacts how you feel. If you are somebody that other people's emotions and responses overwhelm you, you likely have some stuff in your childhood or in your past that has not been dealt with yet. It has not been worked out yet. And I'm realizing the reason that I'm feeling this way is because my greatest strength is my work ethic, but it is also, in so many ways, my biggest kryptonite. I do not have that awareness for myself of where I am at, to be able to say no, to be able to put in boundaries, to be able to vocalize and ask for help in times when I am struggling. If you out there listening are listening to this and you feel the same way, I want you to know you're not alone, but that there's a reason for it. There is a reason for which each and every one of us are the way we are. We do not just coincidentally become the way we are. That is done through merit, through experiences, through traumas, through people, through things that we have overcome and gone through in our life. They shape who we are. They shape how we show up. They shape how we communicate, how we live, how we respond. And I'm sitting here, 24 years old, preaching to the world twice a week about all these things, all these steps, how to. And I'm sitting here having a mental breakdown on a Tuesday morning. I'm sick of the bullcrap we see on social media, we have in our heads, we have ingrained within us. I want this podcast to, from now on, I promise you guys, to lead from a heart-centered, true, authentic place. And although I've never been dishonest, I do feel in a way I still protect myself in what I share. And I recognize that that is doing nothing but actually making me in a lot of ways unrelatable. You're like, okay, cool, this girl has all her shit figured out. No, I don't. I try my best to figure it out. If I don't know what I'm doing, I go and I get curious and I try to learn. I take action every single day. I want to know, but I don't have all the answers, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I do. And so, you guys listening, in a lot of ways, I'm rambling today. But in a lot of ways, I'm rambling because I want to just pause ourselves for just a second to ask if the trajectory we're on is actually sustainable for the person we truly want to become. More so, recognizing those parts of us that are driving, that are from past trauma that keeps being played over and over and over again. When external things go wrong or aren't going the way you want them to, how does that affect you? Do you know the answer to that question? Without knowing the answer to that question, you are likely always on autopilot, waiting to base your emotion off of your circumstances around you. I have been guilty of this for so much of my life. I vouch to myself today that it is time to see a counselor again and see a therapist again, because healing is never done. I know exactly what it's like to not know where to turn, to feel alone, helpless, and stuck. My goal as a coach is to help clients from a trauma-informed perspective see your worth and develop self-belief so you may chase your dreams and trust your intuition to live the most aligned, fulfilling life possible. If you're looking to elevate your life to the next level but aren't sure where to start, I would absolutely love to connect. If you're feeling pulled or curious, please use the link in the show notes below to book your free call. I look forward to connecting and supporting you on your own unique journey. You know, we can think that, we've done the work for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, we're cured. No, because life is always going to throw obstacles at you. It is always going to throw challenges. It is always going to push you. And we just need that extra support. And I want to normalize that here. I want to normalize that it is okay not to be okay. It is okay if your past is still affecting you. But what is not okay is doing that to yourself for the rest of your life. I recognize I am blessed in the aspect that I do have very high self-awareness. And even just me feeling this today, I've been processing, why is that? Why is that? Why is that? And I have to land on those for myself. What are your reasons for you that you might be feeling the way you're feeling? What are your excuses from why you're feeling that way versus getting to where you want to be? What is your excuse for not healing your past? What is that reason? What is your excuse for not wanting to heal yourself and better your life? What are the reasons in which you are the way you are? Is it time that you pivot your life? Is it time that we all collectively just have more self-accountability? That we begin to turn within and reflect and ask and then go outwards to find answers? I came on here because I am sick of feeling like all I can do is pretend like I have it all figured out. Acting like I'm a superhero. As if I'm knowledgeable about a subject so it doesn't affect me. Mental health affects all of us. It affects us all differently. We're going to have different triggers. We're going to have different phases of our life. It's going to ebb. It's going to flow. Where are you at with noticing that? How close are you to that next breakdown? Are you living in a constant state of breakdown and you don't even know it? Again, today is not going to resonate with everybody. But my goal is to help even one soul's heart feel seen and know that you do not have to have it all figured out. You can still be successful and figure it out as you go. You do not have to be the master of something. You can be knowledgeable and passionate about something, yet be transparent that you don't know it all. Our world is shaped with such misconceptions about truth and transparency. I am on here with red eyes, no makeup, bags under my eyes, on the verge of crying again because I have not honored my system. I have not honored my body. I have not honored my emotions in what they're trying to tell me, what they've been trying to tell me for years and I've been ignoring. Putting up with the same repetition of people in my life and being okay with it. We are responsible for what we allow in our life, what we spend our energy focusing on, what we tend ourselves to. Nobody is responsible for shifting that but you. And so if you've been feeling lower, you've been feeling a lower vibe, you've been feeling stuck, you've been feeling overwhelmed, it's never too late to shift. It is never too late, and there is nothing wrong with having to shift, with having to change, with having to put in boundaries, with having to tend to yourself. There is nothing wrong with that. In fact, we all need to do a little more of that, and we all need to have a little more compassion for each other, that we are human beings. We are living in a very scary, toxic society. In a lot of ways, yes, it is beautiful. The world itself is beautiful. Nature is beautiful. The things in which we as humans have developed within that is very scary and overwhelming. And we would be lying to ourselves if we just said, we're good all the time. We can have good days. We can have the best days, right? Those days that just feel so good. You're on top of the world. They're awesome. Everything's going great. But then if the next day that's not consistent, a part of you is not actually centered. If your days are not consistent in how you're feeling somewhat, if it is a roller coaster of emotions, it's likely that external factors are influencing that. You haven't actually healed within, inside out, not outside in. Stop depending on your friends and your family and your partner and your job to make you feel good. I am so guilty of this. If a relationship is off, I'm off. If a friendship is off, I'm off. If my job is off, I'm off. Yes, they can influence us. What is your center? Where is your heart? What does your heart need? What does it need to heal? What does it need loved on? What does it need validated? What does your heart need? You guys, today's episode came from my heart. There is no paper in front of me. There is no notes. I wanted to come on here and be transparent, see what flows, see what comes out, tap into my truth. I have such a fear of, if I don't have A, B, and C lined up for my podcast, no one's going to listen, no one's going to care. When in retrospect, the podcasts I've been listening to lately that are like that, I'm tuning off because it's not relatable. I want to speak true, authentic feelings, emotions, experiences into this microphone so that you can know and have the permission to know that it's okay and you're not alone, and we can get our shit together. We can figure it out together. Okay? So much love for each and every one of you. Sending a little bit of extra love, actually, today. If you're having a hard day today, I hope you know that that's okay. If you're having a great day today, I want you to celebrate that. How can we roll that into tomorrow? What needs to shift for that to happen again tomorrow? Are you just waking up on a whim and hoping that it's a good day, or are you actually consciously bringing that mindset into your life on a daily basis. A little less emotional winging it, and a little more emotional stability and healing. Imagine a world if we all practice that, at least to the best of our ability. So, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode. Happy June. I can't believe it's June. I hope the sun is shining where you are. I hope you take a second to put your hand on your heart and just know that if it is beating, you are here. And if you are here, that means you can make all the shifts you would like. It is never too late to pivot and change your life. So, sending you guys so much love. I look forward to chatting with you all on Thursday. Thank you all so much for tuning into today's episode of Rewire to Inspire. I absolutely love connecting with you all, so make sure you're following me on Instagram. I am at Jessie Brown 13. If you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to leave a review or share with someone you think would enjoy. I look forward to chatting with you all next episode. And remember, get out of your head and into your heart.